Good morning. Hello, Chris. Hello, Di. Great to see you join. You felt up to it, Di. Hello, Jill. Good morning, Jane. It's so nice to be back and welcome back. If you have a bolster, you might like to pop that next to your mat this morning, or I thought we might actually start in a seated position. So if you'd like to, you can sit on a bolster or sit on a chair or sit on some support cushion, blanket, fold up blanket. So just gather what you need. And if you're feeling quite cold, you might like to wrap a shawl around you or a blanket. Of course, if you're really low in energy, feel free to, or not feeling 100%, feel free to start in a reclined position. But otherwise, let's sit comfortably, hands resting on our thighs or in our lap or on our knees, perhaps in a favorite mudra position. Morning, Kerry. I was just saying, Kerry, if you have a bolster, you might like to grab that or just cushions, pillows, and we're going to start in a seated position for a little intro and then just go into a little meditation. So a comfortable seated position where the spine is nice and tall and upright, shoulders softening down, skin of the face soft, perhaps a gentle smile on your lips. And you might like to begin by sighing or blowing the breath away 2 or 3 times. So just leaving the hustle and bustle of your morning and the past few days, few weeks, and just allowing yourself to sink down a little more with each out breath. But even though we have that sense of sinking downwards, there's that very gentle, subtle feeling of a lengthening up through the crown of the head, as though there's an invisible cord connected to the crown. So we're not just collapsing with gravity. Starting to come into the body, moving out of the head. So moving away from racing thoughts and any storm clouds of worry or doubt, into the slow undulating waves of your breath. So connecting with the breath as it moves in and out. A sense of expanding and releasing. Just breathing this breath and this breath and this breath. Acknowledging that everything is okay and everything will be okay. Here in this moment, we have no control over that which we desperately want or hope for, a specific outcome, another person to act a certain way, control over Mother Nature, storm, drought, wind, earthquake. No amount of worrying or thinking will change this very moment. So let's surrender our desires and trust in the wisdom of the universe. Trust in the beautiful mystery of life, the unfolding of life. The wonderful poet Mary Oliver wrote deeply about the intense spiritual necessity of the dark. She claimed that the darkness of winter is not a punishment, but a vast canvas for the inner self. In a similar way, the Irish poet John O'Donoghue wrote profoundly about winter and darkness. We could think the challenging times in our lives, framing them as sacred, essential spaces for the soul's healing and reflection. Rather than being empty or evil, he viewed the darkness of winter as being like a fertile womb where all new life could be quietly prepared. A season of absolute presence, inviting us to slow down and trust what is happening beneath the surface. Another wonderful Irish poet, David White, writes about winter, darkness, and solitude, not as times of lack, but as rich, essential sanctuaries for spiritual transformation. His poems acknowledge that the quiet seasons give us exactly what we need to grow. So this morning's practice is an invitation to slow everything down, let go of the demands and expectations of the outside world, turn inward and just notice what's going on inside. Not so much your racing thoughts or internal chatter or your to-do lists, all the shoulds, but what's going on in the body, below the neck. Sensations, feelings. So with every breath out, imagine releasing the frantic energy of the outside world. Feel yourself disengaging from racing thoughts and the drive, perhaps unconscious, to stay really busy. And allow your body to become heavy, anchored, still. Like a great tree rooted deep beneath the winter frost. Now in this quiet place, I invite you to turn your attention deep inside your chest, to the center of your chest, and imagine a small, warm flame glowing softly within you. This is your inner light, untouched by the cold outside. rest your attention here on the glow of this warm flame burning brightly within your heart center. And without forcing any thoughts or trying to solve any problems, simply notice what is the very first whisper or feeling that arises from my inner self. As I connect with this inner light, what quiet dreams or insights are resting deep inside, waiting for the right time to sprout, to grow? What does my soul need to hear during this quiet season? What wisdom can I connect with by simply sitting with my inner flame and the quiet, reflective winter shadows? Listen and feel with open curiosity. Let any feelings, sensations, or simple words surface without judgment. Let them be exactly as they are. You are safe in this quiet winter sanctuary. There is nowhere else you need to be, and nothing else you need to do right now. And then very, very gently start to deepen the breath. Perhaps wriggle your toes and bring some movement into your fingers. Might like to have a little bit of a stretch. So we're going to gently move out of this position now, and I invite you to come into child pose. If you have a bolster or some pillows, you might do a supported child pose over that support. If not, that's fine. Just do any version of child pose. And if you're still feeling quite cold, you might put a blanket on top of you. I'll come back to meet you on my mat in a moment. But just get comfortable there. And when you are in this beautiful reclined position, you might like to softly begin whispering either to yourself or just out loud, but quite soft, the Sanskrit chant Shanti. Shanti. So no matter what we are currently experiencing, or no matter what is going on around us, may we find some way to keep connected to our internal light and to feel some degree of peace within. If things are feeling particularly dark for us, or it's a very challenging time, that might mean we choose to roll out our yoga mat or sit on our meditation cushion even more than we would normally do, as a way of supporting ourselves through whatever's going on. And perhaps coming to this beautiful phrase and just repeating it to yourself over and over throughout the day. Shanti. Peace. Perhaps every time you hop into your car before you drive off, just sitting for a moment, 3 rounds of that chant. Or when you enter your home, just pausing for a moment inside the front door and chanting. When you lie to go to sleep at night in bed, a little chant. Or when you wake up first in the morning. And then when you feel ready, just slowly, slowly coming up. And you can either sit on some support or just be on your mat. And just bringing the soles of the feet together. So the heels might be quite close to the body, or they might be out a little way. We want to try and keep that spine nice and upright, not concaving the chest and rounding the shoulders forward. So that might mean you sit up on some support, so trying to draw the shoulders back and down, and just a light fluttering of the knees. Just that gentle smile on our lips. And you can continue doing this, or you might even like to just start, whether you're on the floor or on some support, just gently rocking from side to side. A little bit of movement. Bit of a massage for the largest muscles in the body. Good. And then come back to center. Now you can keep the legs in a more of a diamond shape, or come now to sit cross-legged. And as we inhale, let's raise the arms to shoulder height. And as we exhale, just leaning over to the left side. Coming back to center as we breathe in, and over to the right. So work with your own breath, breathing into center and breathing out over to the left. Keep going. Now the next time you come over to the left side, let's hold that stretch. We're breathing into this right side of the torso, hoping to create a feeling of greater space, openness, expansion. So you might even emphasize the inhalation here and just allow the exhale to come. So breathing life into this right side of the torso. right side of the lung. And then we'll slowly come back to center and tip over to the other side. So now breathing, emphasize that inhalation, lengthen the inhalation. So that beautiful feeling of openness, space, expansion through that left side of the lung. Good. And then slowly come back to center. You might make a few circles with your shoulders. Good. And then we're going to work with our seated cat. So hands will be onto our knees. As we exhale, we round the back. And as we breathe in, chest moves forward, shoulders back, keep the face soft. So exhale, we round. Inhale, chest forward. Again, just work with your own body, your own breath, feeling into your back, your spine, the different parts of your spine. Good. Now you can continue with this movement, or you might take your fingertips onto your shoulders. Inhale, take the elbows back, opening the heart. Exhale, rounding the back, perhaps elbows touch. Breathing in and breathing out. And then finally, you might take the arms out wide like you're a beautiful bird. Exhale, rounding the back, palms touch. So breathing in, arms out wide, breathing out. Let's do a couple more. Really emphasizing the inhalation. That's the idea of creating more space, more openness in the body, in the mind, in the heart. And our breath is fueling that internal flame, helping the light become brighter and brighter. Now, the next time your palms touch, pause there, interlace your fingers, turn the palms away. Inhale, raise the arms up. And as we exhale, we're going to turn into a twist. So left, turning to the left. Now, it might be an open twist, so the right hand on the inner edge of the right knee. That's a bit of a gentler option. If you want a stronger twist, your right palm is to the outside of the left knee. This is called a closed twist. Head moves last as we turn to look over that left shoulder. Trying not to lean back into that left hand. So ideally we can actually lift the left fingers off the floor. We're not using that to prop ourselves up. So trying to get that spine as straight as possible. Good, and then inhale, float your arms back to center and exhale to the right. So an open twist or closed. You might try both and see what feels good for you this morning. Where you're able to, sometimes we can do the close, but we might go, today I'm going to do the open because I really want to focus on lengthening the inhalation. So really get that feeling of expansion and creating more space, more life internally. So we don't always have to take the most challenging option. We don't always have to go to our maximum edge. Really depends on our intention. Good. And then slowly come back to center. All right, let's stretch the legs out, give them a little bit of a shake. And might need to come off if you're up quite high, because we're going to work with rowing the boat. So you might be on some low support or just down on your mat now. Feet are hip distance apart. The feet are flexed, so toes pointing straight up, so the legs are active. And we're going to rowing our boat, so we want to grab onto our oars. And as we exhale, we're leaning forward. As we inhale, we're leaning back. So nice slow circles with the arms. Exhale, we come forward. You might bend the legs if that feels better this morning. Inhale back. Exhale forward. Work at a pace, a speed that feels right for you. Good, and then just pause, and we're going to reverse the direction and the breath. So we're going to inhale forward and exhale back. So inhale forward, exhale back. A few more. And when you finish the next exhalation, come back to center, pop your oars safely to the side, and take a breath. All right, so going into Navasana now, our boat pose. So we're going to bend the legs. For a gentle option, you can hold on to your opposite forearm or your wrist under the leg. So you start off like this, and then we just lean back. If you feel a bit wobbly, you might just stay here. So feet just off the floor. Otherwise, we might lift the legs up a bit higher. Those of you who would like to, you can hold on to the sides of the legs or have your hands alongside your legs, palms facing each other. And breathe. If you'd like to go a little bit further, if you've got lots of energy this morning, you might straighten the legs. Otherwise, they're bent. And when you've had enough, slowly release and just take a little rest forward. All right, if you're not feeling 100% this morning, you might like to just lie down now and do a few gentle rounds of bridge, working inhale as you lift, exhale, lower down. Otherwise, we're going to work with a variation of boat to strengthen the abdominal area. So we're going to, think you've all done this, but if you're not sure, just have a look. Cross the ankles, hands go behind us. Haven't done this for a while. So as we inhale, we're going to straighten the legs. And as we exhale, we pull them in. Inhale, we straighten. Exhale, draw in. So I'll see if we can do 3 more of these, but please stop anytime you need to. Listen to your body this morning. Watch your breath. Let the breath guide you here. When you finish, just release and take a breath. And then we'll cross the legs the other way. So opposite ankle on top. As we inhale, we straighten. Exhale, draw in. Inhale, straighten. Exhale in. So up to 3 more of these. When you finish, again, have a little rest. Okay, and then we're going to straighten the legs. We're into Dandasana, our foundational sitting pose. And we're going to do another little gentle twist, Bunu Manasana, greeting the earth. So you can just turn to one side, tap the hands down and lean down. And then we come back to center, turn to the other side and lean down. It's like we're trying to kiss the earth. Inhale up. I try to keep my feet flexed the whole time so there's awareness through the legs. So to find a rhythm, a pace that works for you, you can keep this really slow or go faster. Just synchronizing the movement with your breath. One more to each side. And then release. All right. So I thought we might try something this morning that I have not woven into a class for many, many, many years. But it's a really wonderful movement. It's called Kawa Chalasana. Kawa Chalasana, which means crow walking. It's not that easy, but I thought we'd have a go. And it's fantastic but to do first thing in the morning, have some warm water, and then it's really good to get the bowel moving and if you have trouble with bloating. So very powerful for digestion and elimination, and also helping to improve mobility in our feet, our ankles, our knees. If you've got sort of strong pain in toes or ankles or knees, you won't want to do this. So please just choose something, perhaps some gentle rounds of cat instead. I've been playing around with this and found that it's easier to do with socks on. If you've got, actually carpet might be a bit more challenging. See how you go if you've got carpet, so I'm just going to pop my socks on because I've got these floorboards and I have found that it's actually really nice to do. It's even better on the floorboards than actually on my mat. So some of you may know this. If you don't, you can watch and have a play. So we come onto the balls of the feet. So it's a bit of a balance as well. And our hands go onto our knees. And then it's a matter of walking along. See, and that's why it's good with these socks, because I can sort of slide. So one knee goes down and then the other lifts. One goes down and you can just sort of I was having fun playing around, swiveling around. I was practicing this morning. So you can speed it up. You can make the sound of a crow for a bit of fun. But it's something, especially in winter, when we get, some of us, not great circulation down in our feet, very cold feet and toes, just to improve circulation. So Kawa Chalasana, crow walking. All right, that might be enough. We might keep doing that, working with that over the next few weeks, just for a bit of fun. And then we're going to come up to stand, give the legs a bit of a shake. Socks back off. And come into Tadasana, our beautiful mountain pose. Hands over the heart. I might like to close the eyes, perhaps rocking back and forth or side to side on your feet, finding center, finding a still, quiet place where we can pause for a moment, perhaps close our eyes, soften the shoulders, the skin of the face, relax the mouth, and just reconnect with that bright shining light within the heart space. It might just be like a pinprick of light, a dot of light. For some of you, it might be quite a bright, shining light, almost like the center of a sun, your own internal sun. And as you breathe now, send that breath to the light. And again, emphasizing the inhalation. Just let the exhale come on its own this morning. But a nice, full, deep, slow, calm inhalation, fueling your internal light, your internal flame. You might even pause at the top of the inhale before the exhale comes. Don't worry if you can't see or connect with a light inside. Just keep directing the breath to your heart center and hold your gaze here, your focus here. Perhaps seeing that internal light becoming brighter and brighter with every breath. Okay, let's come back to the Sanskrit chant, Shantihi. We'll work with this 5 times, exhaling all breath. As we breathe in, let's take the arms out to the side. Shanti. 4 more. Shanti. 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 Last one. Shanti. Let's take a resting breath and release. Let's work with our chest tapping breath now, just to stimulate this area. If you've had a bit of a cough or a cold, you might just use fingertips. Otherwise, we can make fists with the hands. We do 2 soft taps and then a thump. 2 soft taps, bump. But when you've had enough, just rest the hands over the heart. Take 2 or 3 breaths here. So it's also, that tapping is really good for stimulating the thymus gland, which is connected to our immune system. And just notice for a moment how you're feeling, what's going on inside, without judgment. Good. And then just release the arms down. We'll do a little bit of bouncing. So a little bend in the legs and just starting to bounce up and down, up and down. Perhaps blowing the breath away. Perhaps reflecting on and letting go of what might be dimming your light, what might have been dimming your light recently. Any sort of dark clouds that might be around that light, our internal sun. Just imagine that's draining down through the body, or you're flicking it, shaking it out through your fingertips. What might be dimming my light? Good. And then just slowing that down. And again, just take a breath or two and notice what you notice. Okay, let's do a little bit more opening and energizing and enlivening. So we're going to a bit of movement for our shoulders, taking the arms above the head. You've all done this with me before. It's not that easy, but let's have a go. So arms circle in opposite directions. So you can keep this really slow or speeding it up. Good. And then pause, arms above the head. And now we work the opposite way. And release. Okay. Let's have a little bit of a stretch for our tricep now. So we will take the left arm above the head, bend the arm, and in either our right fingertips can come onto the elbow like this, or if we can, we reach the right arm behind and see if we can get a monkey grip behind the body. We keep the chin parallel to the floor, so we're looking straight ahead, keeping the chest open. And again, that idea of lengthening the inhalations. Perhaps even a pause at the top of the inhale and then just allowing the exhale to come. That idea of spaciousness, of expansion, openness. Perhaps a gentle smile on your lips. Good. And then we'll gently release. Give the arms a shake. And we'll try the other side. So right arm up, bend. So either left fingertips to your elbow, or we take a monkey grip behind the body and breathe. Good. And gently release. Okay, let's work with ragdoll. So our very, very slow forward bend. So feet can be hip width or perhaps even a bit wider apart. As we come down, the legs can stay straight or bend, whatever you prefer. So start off taking a nice, long, slow breath in. And then as we exhale, very, very slowly, starting to tilt the head forward. And the shoulders come forward, arms flop forward. And just lowering yourself down very, very slowly. Don't be in a hurry. Move down. Just perhaps notice where the weight is in your feet. So just play around with that a little bit. Are you leaning back into your heels or forward into the fronts of the feet, the outer edges of the feet, and the toes scrunch? So just be aware of what's going on in the feet and the weight distribution. And then we'll slowly come up. Any lower back issues, please keep the legs bent as you come up. A bit of extra support for your back. Very, very slowly coming up. We're going to go into that once again. So when you're in back upright, just take a breath or two there. And then on your next exhalation, we'll slowly come forward. Slowly, slowly coming up. Take a breath or two. release. All right, we're going to do a little bit of squatting, beginning with our feet together. Spread the toes. We're going to hold on to our opposite elbow, and we're just going to bob down and then come up. And we'll do up to 21 of these. So you can keep it slow or you might speed it up a bit. Just count to yourself. When you finish, take a breath or two, release the arms, shake the legs, and then we'll take the legs about hip width apart, holding onto our opposite elbow. So this time we're going to do 14 a little bit slower. So again, just count to yourself. When you finish, just release. Take a breath or two. And then we're going to take the legs wider apart. So you can take them a bit wider than mine if you like. Because of my hips, I can't take them too far apart these days. And holding onto the opposite elbow, now we're going to do 7. So just counting to yourself. So we're trying to keep the spine as upright as possible, face relaxed. Shake it out. Good. All right, couple more standing poses, then we're coming back down to the floor. Thought we'd have a go at doing triangle, Trikonasana. So taking the legs wide, turning the left toes around, right toes in. Let's breathe in. Raise the arms to shoulder height, turn to the left. And as we exhale, we're leaning over, then taking the left hand down. Right hand can go onto your hip if that's better for your shoulder, or you might be able to extend that top arm up. Depending on how your neck is feeling, you might be looking down towards your left big toe, forward, or perhaps up towards that right thumb. And breathe. See if you can lengthen the inhale a little more here. It's trickier when we go into more challenging positions, but just see how you go. Focusing on the inhale. The idea of expansion, creating greater space. And again, that might mean we sort of come up, we're not so deep into the pose, so we can breathe deeper. All right, let's inhale, come up. And exhale. Turning your legs around. And inhale, raise your arms, turn to the right, leaning over, take the hand down. So this top hand might be on your hip or extending the arm up. And just be careful of your neck. And breathe. Keep the face soft. head to neutral. Inhale, come up. And exhale. Shake it out. All right, let's turn back to the left. And this is our last standing pose, and it's Thich Nhat Hanh's Mindful Warrior. So we're sort of facing towards the left, not so much this way, like as in triangle. And we rest the left hand on the front thigh, the right hand on the back thigh. If you'd like to, we'll, as we work with this, incorporate Shantihi with each exhale. So we'll do 5 of these. Exhale, all breath. So as we inhale, we're bending that front leg and raising the left arm up and then chanting down. Shanti. So 4 more. Inhale. Shanti. 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 Last one. Shanti. Take a breath. And then we'll do the same to the other side. Exhale. So bending the right leg, inhale. Shanti. 4 more. Shanti. 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 Last one. Shanti. Take a breath and release. So a couple of options now. If you'd like to grab your bolster or your cushions or pillow or a blanket. One option is supported bridge. Doesn't matter if you haven't got any props, you can still do bridge. So I think you all know that one. We pop the support under the buttocks and legs are bent. You might like to cover yourself with a blanket at this point. We're going to stay here for about 5 minutes. So if you wear glasses, you might want to pop those to the side. Or, so that's first option. Second option is to lie with your legs up the wall. So Viparita Karani Asana. So the support is a hand's distance away from the wall, so the bolster's not actually touching the wall. And then we have our buttocks on the support and legs up the wall, arms out to the side or overhead, wherever is comfortable. So they're both very restorative poses. I've been doing Viparita pretty much every day lately. I usually do it, I'll do practice in the morning, but then I'll do Viparita in the afternoon. And often I'll be there for 20 minutes. So it's such a lovely, as I've said, restorative pose. If you're feeling a bit, tired, it's good to do sort of mid-afternoon if you can, if you have the time and space. So just let the whole body sink down. Just be with yourself in the quiet. And focus on the bright, shining point of light, or it might be like a flame within your heart center. Just breathing into this space, your breath, fuel for the light. You might start to be able to feel that that light is expanding further and further outward. Perhaps you can feel it now warming and filling your whole chest. Maybe even expanding out beyond the physical body. Maybe you can start to feel the light filling your room, filling your whole house. Or perhaps it's just that beautiful, bright point or dot of light in the heart space. There's no judgment here. Be with yourself, with your breath. Just another minute here. Your legs are up the wall. I invite you to just slowly bend the legs now, draw the knees down towards you, give yourselves a lovely hug. And you can either push yourself away from the wall or just roll carefully to one side to come out. Just lie down on your mat. Those of you in bridge, you can just lift yourselves up, slide any supports out underneath you, bring the knees into the chest so we're all lying back down on our mats, knees into the chest, and perhaps a gentle rock from side to side. We'll move into a gentle twist now. So feet down on the mat. If you want a stronger twist, of course, feet can be in the air, but otherwise feet are hip width, arms out to shoulder height. Make sure your head, neck and spine are in a straight line, chin tucking forward. And on your next exhalation, knees over to the right side. We'll hold the twist. You might like to lift that right foot up and place it on the outer edge of the left knee. And you may like to turn your head to look towards the left if that's okay for your neck. And breathe. Place the foot down, head, knees back to center. Realign yourself if need be. And then knees over to the left side. So again, you might place the left foot on the outer edge of the right knee. You may turn your head to look towards the right. Just relax your shoulders, soften the face, and breathe. Slowly come back to center. One more hug and squeeze. And then stretch the legs away. Let's inhale, raise the arms up overhead. Stretching from fingertip to toe tip. And release the arms down. So setting ourselves up now for relaxation. Cover yourselves with a blanket. Grab any support you might need. If you've got the bolster, you might slip it underneath your knees. I'm just going to come up closer to you once again. Glasses off. Sighing the breath away 2 or 3 times as you settle down. Let us remember that Shavasana symbolizes the process of letting go of the old and preparing the way for something new to evolve. So just feel the body lying here now. Noticing any physical sensations in your body, perhaps a tingling or an itch, a sensation of warmth or cold. Becoming aware of the whole of your left leg, the whole of your right leg, both legs together, the whole of your left arm, the whole of your right arm, both arms together, the whole of your torso, your chest, your tummy, your back, the whole of your head, becoming aware of your whole body lying here, relaxing, letting go. Allowing yourself to sink into the support of Mother Earth, letting everything slow down. And once again, you might reflect on the questions. What quiet dreams or insights are resting deep inside, waiting for the right time to sprout, to grow? What does my soul need to hear during this quiet season? What wisdom can I connect with by simply being with my inner flame and the quiet, reflective winter shadows? Feel free to stay exactly as you are if you would like to. But if you're ready to move on into the rest of your day, I invite you now just to start to deepen the breath. Send the breath down to that bright, shining light in your heart center. You might like to rest your hands there. When you feel ready, perhaps rolling over to one side and slowly coming up to sit. Let's close our practice together this morning, chanting Om Shanti 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 here. So if you like, bring the hands into Namaskar Mudra. May there be peace, peace, perfect peace. Exhale all breath and then breathing in. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Gently bowing your head down towards your own heart, your own internal light, connecting with that light, carrying that light with you as you move forward into the rest of your day, your week. Namaste. Thank you. Lovely to be back. I look forward to seeing you again, hopefully next week, although not Di, because Di's off to Bali this week. Safe travels. Lots of love to you all. Bye.